Welcome to the 19th hole preview show. I'm Kory Kuffler alongside Jenna. And over the next half hour, we are going to get you set for the playing of the 55th John Deere Classic.
We'll let you know about the construction project on hole 4, how that's looking, and we talk with tournament director Andrew Lehman and break down this year's field.
And of course, we'll talk about the concerts on the course that are happening this year, and James Zahara will be along a little bit later to give us the weather update. But before we get to any of that, we're going to start with our defending champion, Brian Campbell. I had a chance to talk to him back in May on Champions Day and ask him what it's like to defend his 2025 John Deere Classic champion, and here's what he had to say. I'm here with the 2025 John Deere Classic champion, Brian Campbell. Brian, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your schedule and talking to us as you get ready to defend for the first time ever. It's kind of been a crazy year for you over the past year. Kind of talk about where you're at, and I guess maybe let's talk off the golf course first. Am I not mistaken? You got engaged?
I did. Yes. We have the wedding upcoming this off season in November, so really excited for that. And yeah, just playing some golf until then, basically.
Well, kind of take me through the past year. What's it been like to be a defending champ and to hold that banner of being a John Deere Classic champion?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud to call myself the John Deere champion and to kind of hold that. And I'm excited and really don't know what to expect going into it. Never done it before, but I'm just excited to get back out there and kind of do the best I can.
With it being new territory as far as defending, I know you also won in Mexico, but that event got pushed later in the year. This will be the first time you've ever done it. Have you talked to anybody that has had to do it and try to get some pointers and some tips and advice on what you can expect as a defending champ?
No, I probably should. That sounds like a good idea. But no, I plan to just kind of approach it the same way. I mean, I know it's probably going to be a different feel in terms of, I won here last year, and there's probably more people who are going to want, time for me that week, stuff like that. And that's expected, but I'm just going to continue to plan and prepare like every other week.
Take me through your game, because obviously in 12 months, things change, you make changes. So where would you say your game's at right now?
It's not, exactly where I want it to be. I'd say that my body's still, not giving me everything that I want it to give. But no, I'm really seeing a lot of positives in the last couple weeks and been working on a lot of good stuff. So I'm optimistic in terms of where I could go.
When you say body's not working and you're moving in the right direction, what kind of things are you working on with the body, with the swing, with things like that? Really
just getting the shoulder not locked up so much anymore, and then it can free up my hand to grip the club properly. That's kind of the thing that I've been dealing with, is gripping the club in the way that I want to, and to get the right feels. And it's been a challenge, every so weeks it kind of bothers me more than others. But over the course of the last couple of years, it's really gotten a lot better. And so I really just, it's a lot of gym work, but not like crazy hard gym work. It's kind of like a ebb and flow, because you kind of got to be delicate with it. If you go too hard, you kind of tighten it back up. But if you don't do enough work, then it doesn't get strong again. So it's a really, tough thing to juggle, but it's something I've been getting a lot better at.
You've made half the cuts so far this year. I believe waste management, outside of the signature events, waste management, Masters, PGA to this point when we've done this interview. Talk about the Masters though, a T24 at the Masters. What kind of confidence did that give you in your game as it moves in the right direction?
It gave me a lot of confidence in, sticking to the things that, I've been working on. I really prepared hard for that week. I wanted to put my best foot forward. I think other weeks it's been more of, it's been tough. I want to play the best I can every possible week, but it's almost like, what's more important, getting myself where I need to be or the current week? And so that's been the struggle I've been dealing with, is like dealing with the stuff that needs to be dealt with versus let's just go play as hard as I can right now. And so I've been a little bit more future mindset, you could say. But I think at the Masters, I was really present and I was really able to kind of ground myself that week.
Well, as you get ready to defend here at TPC Dirt Run and the John Deere Classic, what are some of the good memories, the good vibes that you have from that week? Because you had 4 really good rounds in the 60s last year.
Really good vibes that week. I love the layout of the land there. I love the course, getting on the range, the clubhouse, the facilities. I mean, everything about that week, the fans, the energy they bring, and it just brings me back home to college. The feels that I had there, similar atmosphere. So really just feeling like I'm at home.
When you have those struggles, do you look back at that time and be like, hey, I know I can do it. I've won twice on tour. I won at the John Deere Classic. That there's good memories, good vibes that you can kind of pull from?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're gonna, remember the spots that you hit on the range, even putts that you made, areas on the course that you were like, oh yeah, I remember the shot that I hit right here. Um, and I think you can use all of that to your benefit.
This course obviously is set up for a dramatic finish with from 15 on. Obviously, 15 wasn't a great hole for you last year, but you bounce back, you go to a playoff. What do you remember about those last few holes in that playoff last year?
Oh man, that was crazy. I just remember being kind of locked into what I was doing, and yeah, just made a really bad swing on 15 that you know, I had to accept what happened. It was just going left, and it's like, man, that's out. So now I got to deal with what's going on here, and save the best double that I can. And then the next hole, after that happens, is not the easiest hole. You really got to focus on hitting that, giving yourself a birdie look. And I was really just focused on moving on and looking at, 17, 18, I can still get some looks there. So, um, and also I was still right in the mix right after that hole. So it wasn't like it was over. It was like, all right, we're still in this. So, best foot forward.
Do you remember the playoff hole?
No, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I was just entirely focused on what I was doing. Number one, hit the fairway, put the pressure on, and then make the hole as easy as possible. Give myself a birdie look, and that's what I did, and it just swung in my favor.
Let me ask you about your caddy, Cooper. You had him on the Corn Ferry Tour. You kept him along with you onto the PGA Tour, which a lot of times doesn't happen. Why did you do that, and what does he mean to you?
He means a lot to me. I mean, he's seen a lot of stuff that I've been through that a lot of people haven't seen. And I think that is a huge benefit, good or bad. It was almost like he was the perfect candidate. I was looking for someone who's just easy to hang out with for 6 hours. At that time, I was looking for, I've got to deal with these things. And he was just a good vibe, a good friend. And he was also young and aspiring to learn a lot. And I like to see that in caddies, is just kind of excited to be there, ready to learn and ready to get to work. And he showed a lot of good stuff that first year. And I was like, you know what? Why change? I think sometimes you can um, take the wrong road when you try to change too many things. So I was like, it's working. So we're going to keep it going.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you, I know you're an Illinois guy. Illinois basketball had a really good season this past year. Brad Underwood's playing in the Pro-Am this year. Does that get you kind of excited?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll see him out there and ask him, how the team's doing. And, but yeah, it was really, really fun to see them up there this year. And I know they're going to continue to play well.
What is it about Illinois basketball, Illinois golf, things like that kind of keep you locked into, I guess, the Midwest, even though you're a California guy?
It's always a soft spot for me for those. But, I think I think we as a golf team would always go to some of their practices and watch them play. And I think they do the same for us. So it's just kind of a really tight-knit community at the U of I campus. And we all kind of root for each other. And it's just been a really special environment.
Well, Brian, I want to wish you all the best. Good luck as you get ready to defend the 25 2025 John Deere Classic Championship that you won, and good luck this year, and maybe you can make it 2 for 2. Illinois guys seem to have that thing where they like to win back-to-back things, like Steve Stricker and things. So
I've heard that, so I'll do the best I can. Thanks.
all right, good luck to you this year. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back here on the 19th hole preview show.
Welcome back to the 19th hole preview show. I'm joined now by JDC Tournament Director Andrew Lehman. Andrew, every year I feel like this tournament just comes up so quick. Are you excited that it's almost JDC week?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was just last summer, but no, it feels good to be here. Obviously, it's a staple of the Quad Cities summer, and can't wait to open our gates this week.
Yeah, so I want to ask you first about last year's champion, Brian Campbell. You know, it's really cool that he's from Illinois, kind of a local guy, right? How has he been as a champion, and just how has it been getting to know him and seeing him ready to come back here and defend his title?
Obviously, you know, the University of Illinois connection is really cool, and the story about him, you know, winning 10 years to the day he teed it up here on a sponsor exemption is awesome. So Brian's done an unbelievable job of carrying our banner, and he's been a great champion for us, and it'll be fun to see him come back and defend his title.
Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit about the field too. You guys have another strong field. I think over 20 players in the top 100 in the official world golf rankings. Just how has the field shaped up so far?
You know, it was a great work in progress. Really happy with the field, and then we got to Friday of advanced week, and you know, just had a great bunch of surprises. Jordan Spieth joins the field, Keegan Bradley joins the field, Jacob Bridgman, Daniel Berger. So, you know, it's I'm excited to see the rankings because I feel like we have a chance to surpass last year's field, which was the strongest in JDC history.
Yeah, and how is it having a guy like Jordan Spieth come back?
Well, I mean, obviously Jordan is so well respected and liked in this community, and I would say the Quad Cities golf fans and John Deere Classic fans do such a great job of embracing their champions, and obviously getting him back here 2 of the last 3 years after it had been 9 years is really special. And you know, once we announced him, you know, ticket sales went crazy, and have no doubt that we'll be sold out on the weekend as well.
Yeah, and you guys also have a lot of former JDC champions in the field, I believe 8 of them. So how cool is it to have them come back and, you know, be here at an event that they've won in the past?
Well, like I said, you know, our golf fans really embrace their champions, and it's always special, you know. JT Poston's a great example of that. Plays great in the U.S. Open, and you know, didn't know if it'd fit in his schedule. So anytime you get a chance to market the past champions, you know, and get them back here, it's really special.
Yeah, and obviously plenty of golf out here, but there is some things out here for people who want something other than golf, like the concerts on the course. This is the 4th year you guys are doing that. How has that been, setting that up and seeing the community just really embrace the concerts out here?
Well, our staff doesn't stress about them as much as we did a couple of years ago, but it's been such a fun transformation, you know, really weaving in golf fans, non-golf fans, and having something for everybody. And the really cool thing about it is we've gone from about a 2.5-hour radius closer to 5, and folks that came maybe for the first time to the golf tournament in 2023 are now coming back for golf days as well.
Yeah, and I know you've touched on this a little bit. Just how special is it to have an event like this here in the Quad Cities?
You know, it's awesome. You know, you look at the charitable impact, obviously, you know, 55 years of this event, over $206 million for charity. Certainly the economic impact that happens here, which is north of $75 million. You know, those are numbers that really aren't replaceable without this great athletic contest that takes place here during tournament week. So, you know, John Deere is a staple of the Quad Cities. The John Deere Classic is a staple of the Quad Cities, and you know, hopefully we're talking about this event being here 50 years from now.
Yeah, and you talk a little bit about charity. I want to ask you about Birdies for Charity. You know, a record year last year. How great would it be to just, you know, continue that and build off of that for this year's John Deere Classic?
Well, I mean, the last 2 years we've gone up by $1 million each year. So lofty goals. Our goal is to surpass $17.4 million this year, and you know, I think it's a testament that people in this community understand the civic nature and philanthropic nature of this event and supporting their favorite charity. Over 460 that participate. You know, so we'll see where we end up, but I know how quick or how long it took us to get to 200 million. The reality is it's probably not that long before we cross 300 million.
Yeah, well, Andrew, thank you so much for doing this interview with us. Really excited for JDC week, and yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Thanks,
so.
Can't wait for this week.
All right, we will be right back on the 19th hole preview show.
Welcome back to the 19th hole preview show. One of the biggest projects that Superintendent Jonathan Graham has taken on here at TPC Deere Run, right here, hole number 4. They removed the tree that sat in the middle of the fairway because it was rotting out. They added some bunkers on the right-hand side and moved some bunkers up on the left, lengthening the hole by adding another tee box. As you can see from our bird's eye view through our News 8 drone, the project is complete. The bunkers are in play, which will now make this hole one of the toughest on the front 9.
It is a fantastic design of a golf hole that looked completely different a couple months ago, and it has added some challenge to the front 9 on the golf course, and especially the first 4 holes, 5 holes, this first corridor of green space that we have. It really added a challenge to that side of the golf course.
Well, that hole 4 construction project is looking great. No doubt going to challenge the golfers this week at the John Deere Classic. The other thing that could be challenging this week is the weather. We just don't know what it's going to be like, right?
Yeah, but we know someone who does know. James, what's the weather looking like?
Hey guys, we've been advertising this for a number of days, and we don't plan on backing down as we make our way through John Deere Classic week. We felt a little bit of that heat and humidity today, even more so certainly in the days ahead. This is going to be the hottest stretch this season, unfortunately landing on golf week. And you can see that column of hot air, not just a surface, but a loft as well. That prohibits any thunderstorm development to take place. But as we get to Friday, we're going to be on the outer edge, the periphery of this dome of hot air, and that could lead to some showers and thunderstorms if we get some disturbances riding along it. And right now, we're looking at later Friday and Saturday. Of course, that could change. So my official weather tracker golf cart looks like this. It is hot all around, heat index values near 110 degrees, and then we'll continue with that humidity going into the rest of the weekend. First, remember, for updated Storm Track 8 coverage, stream for free on the WQAD News 8 app.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a hot one this week for the JDC.
I'm sure it's what everybody's going to be looking forward to for sure. Well, we're not done here with this 19th hole preview show. When we come back, we're going to make our picks to who we think are going to win this tournament and our sleeper picks, and we're going to take one last look back at 2025 John Deere Classic. You're watching the 19th hole preview show right here at WQAD, the official station of the John Deere Classic. Welcome back to our 19th hole preview show. We are just about done out here at TPC Deere Run, getting you set for a great week of golf. But before we go, we need to let you know who our picks are to win this year's John Deere Classic. And Jenna, I'll let you go first. Who do you think is going to win this year's tournament?
Oh geez, ladies first. Okay, I'm going to go with Ben Griffin. I picked him last year. He didn't make the cut here last year, but I mean, he's golfing really well. Again, he's 18th in the official world golf rankings. He's had 5 top 10 finishes. 2 of those have been for 3rd place. So I'm really hoping he can come out here, have a good week, get the win here. He has 3 wins in his career on the PGA Tour, all from last season. So I think he's due to get back out here and hopefully get a win here at Deere Run. That'd be cool.
All right, well, my pick is somebody who has not won on tour, but is playing really well this year in 2025. A journeyman, if you will, 38-year-old Eric Cole. He has 4 top 10s this year. Playing some good golf, still looking for that first win. I think this course kind of fits his eye, and I think he has a great chance to win this year at the John Deere Classic. All right, somebody off the radar, somebody under the radar, whatever. Who do you think's that guy people can kind of watch that might surprise somebody?
Yeah, the first name that I was thinking, kind of off the radar, sleeper pick, you could say, would be Pearson Coody. He has no wins on tour in his career, but he has 2 top 10 finishes this year. He's 57th in the official world golf ranking. So he's been up there. He's had some good events so far, and I just think that, you know, maybe he could do something here. I think that would be pretty cool to see him do something.
I'm going to go with Aldrich Potgieter. Had a win last year in 2025 at the Rocket Mortgage. Came here playing some really good golf, and people thought he could do something. He's one of the longest hitters on tour. He withdrew late in the John Deere Classic because of the heat. It's going to be hot next week, so we'll see how he handles that. He's from South Africa, so we'll see how he plays. But I think he's a guy under the radar that could do well out here and maybe host that trophy at the end of the year. So that will do it for us out here at TPC Deere Run as we get you set for the 55th John Deere Classic. The 19th hole begins on Wednesday and runs all the way through Sunday. And don't forget to check out our WQAD app for our stream. We have all kinds of cool things that you can find on our stream. This year we're going to have stuff from the 16th hole on Pro-Am Day. You can check it out behind the scenes and all kinds of cool stuff. You just check out WQAD app to see all of that. So before we go, let's take one last look back at the 2025 John Deere Classic through the eyes of some of the best photographers in the world.
If you ask them their opinion, this is where they want to come.
I mean, it's unbelievable. can't get across.
Have some beers, watch a golf tournament, see the best people in the world. Just flat out amazing.
Some of them are just like a couple scribbles. You're like, how did you sign your name like that?
Perfect. I would take myself over Riley for sure.
I'm gonna say me because I'm a competitor.
I usually go for the pros because they technically have more experience.
I'm sure by the end of the week, like, I'll be counting golf balls in my sleep, I'm sure.
The bombs bursting in air.
Well, it's the Midwest in summertime, and so it's going to be humid, it's going to be hot.
We're here to have them enjoy the Midwest flavor and fatten them up a little bit.
You have to be yakking.
On the tee from Irvine, California, Brian Campbell.
Come a little closer and step over this way.
Magic does happen at the John Deere. A lot of nerves, that's for sure, but I can't believe we're here. What a special event.